Sean Bastow, Eat, Sleep, Box and Repeat. Hey, the serial killer George Brennan and trainer Nate Farrell. Guys, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Yeah, well, it's a big one, this one, isn't it, lads? Central Area Featherweight title, 29th of September. Yeah. George, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I'm excited, and you know, when Kieran told me, I was buzzing. You know, I'm really excited with the opportunity. You know, and I have the full belief in myself to go out there and do it on the night, bring it home.
So it's going to be a good one, really. Obviously, you've had a busy year last year. Was it 5 or 6 last year you had?
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
It's about 5. I was just saying to your opponent then, so I had about 5 or 6 fights last year he had, and obviously you had a lot of learning in them fights throughout the year. You don't want to focus too much on negative, but obviously you did take 2 losses, one to Louis Norman, one to Brett Friedel at the back end of the year. I just want to sort of see how that's affected you now going into your fights this year. I mean, you had a great performance against Jose Hernandez on the Fury undercard. Great, probably the best I've seen you box live anyway. So you know, I was
definitely my best performance.
I was really chuffed for you, and I thought it was a really good fight, and I think you did really well. And it looks like to me you've adapted really well. You've really sort of upped your game, and now you're going into this big fight.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, you know, I had 2 defeats last year. You know, Louis Norman, credit to him. You know, you can't knock. You know, he did beat me on the night. You know, I was unlucky, I thought, but you know, I learned from it. I learned right there and then after the fight what I needed to do. And then Brett Friedel, you know, I fought him with a week's notice, and then I avenged it 3 months later. Over 8 rounds for the challenge belt, and now we've got the Central Area in September. So you know, I've turned it around in such a short space of time where, you know, I've started training with Nate now. We've gone back to how we used to fight, you know, tweaked it a little here and there, and you know, it's helped me. Like you said, my last performance was definitely my best performance. You know, and off that, you know, bringing all this confidence, and you know, even in my sparring, you know, I'm a lot more relaxed. Shots are flying. You know, I'm feeling the benefits of working with Nate straight away.
Nate, just jump in there.
Yeah.
What I feel like going into this fight with George is it's actually perfect timing. He's matured as a human. He's more of a man, and those little blips on his record from the past, before he was training with me, it's mentally prepared him. So he's mentally prepared. I just feel like now he's training with me after looking at that last performance. Like, what did we do? 6 weeks. We did 6 weeks together for that, and he was fucking brilliant, to be fair. Like everyone said, bloody hell, this kid's fucking decent. You know what I mean? So you can go and watch what fight you want, but it's the only fight you want to be watching is his last fight. If you want to pick the bones out of what he's going to do, because if you look at that fight, you're looking at someone who's going to go and win English and British titles in the not too distant future. I just feel like he's had his learning fights, and I feel like September the 29th will be ZAHID Hussein's learning fight when George Brennan beats him.
Well, I've just been talking to ZAHID before, and obviously he's got a little bit more fight experience, you know, had a couple more fights than you, currently undefeated, but he's had a bit of a layoff because of his hand injury, which he's obviously said he's carried for a little while, and it feels like he's back to sort of full strength. Feels like that's going to potentially be a factor in the fight. But with yourself, George, it's not something you focus on. You just focus on what you're doing and how you're performing. Like Nathan's just said, probably a career best performance. This was certainly when I started watching you anyway. So do you look too much into opponents and opponents' records when you're preparing for fights?
You know, I've seen him fight on one of Kieran's shows before, and you know, and just brushed it aside. You know, didn't really think too much of it. But now I've come into the featherweight division, and you know, you got to look at people in the way of where I want to be. And you know, Nate's watched him on YouTube. I've watched him. You know, and we've both seen things what are there to be picked apart, and you know, on the night you'll see that what we've been working on will work, and I'll be bringing on that Central Area belt.
It could be a massive year then for you, really, couldn't it? You know, in terms of the fact that you got the challenge belt in February, you've got Central Area in September. You could be ending 2018 on a high, and 2017 could be sort of looks back on as a learning year for you. Yeah. And people forget as well that you're still on 21, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think people forget that because you've had obviously a numerous amount of fights at this stage of your career, and you've still really, in boxing terms, people might say you're not really fully developed yet. as a man. You might still have a lot of more man strength to come, as they say, and that could be a big factor in your future.
Well, he's new to the featherweight division, but it's like he had a bit of time out after his last fight. He had a good break, and he's not had a good break for a long time. And he came back filled out. Like, you're like, fucking hell, for the size of George, you know what I'm saying? So he's already filled out into the weight a little bit already. He'll only get more filled out into the weight as he keeps growing. But I think it's good timing me, this one, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm taking nothing away from ZAHID. He's obviously 13-0. He is a good boxer, he's a good counter puncher. But obviously no respect until after the fight.
That's the one, isn't it? That's the one.
No disrespect, but no respect.
Yeah, that's the one. As always, George, you've got sponsors, you've got them on your top there, supporters. Just give them a shout out, give them a thanks for obviously support for this next fight.
Definitely, you know, the last fight at the Macron, you know, I had a great turnout there. You know, I'm hoping for the same again. You know, I had banners, I had chants. You know, it was a great atmosphere. I loved every second of being in that ring. And like I say, the sponsors, you know, I've got them on the shirt there. You know. Got Bespoke, CCM, Brennan's Upholstery and Flanagan's Barbers, and I've got Manchester Sports Massage. You know, they all helped me out in doing little bits here and there for me. You know, and I couldn't thank them enough. It's, you know, I appreciate every little bit of help I get.
Massive fight for you, 29th of September. Get buying your tickets, guys. It's going to be a good one. Thanks very much, guys.
Cheers.
No worries, Sean.